happening, y'all? Welcome. This is episode 118 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. I am your host, the self-knighted Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, a.k.a. the Dragon King, a.k.a. Big T, a.k.a. T Money, a.k.a. Sweet T, a.k.a. Black Merlin, a.k.a. the HNIC. And I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Mara, the Shark Watkins.
Hello.
How you doing tonight, Mara?
I'm all right. It's quiet.
Yes. Silent night. I don't know if it's a holy night, but it's a silent night.
It's probably not holy, but it's definitely silent.
Good to hear. So as you all know, if you're not new around here, we're here to talk about the Arrowverse on the CW. That'd be Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Black Lightning, Batwoman, and now Stargirl. Is that all of them?
I think so. After a while, it kind of sounds like you say like three of them, but you're saying all of them.
All right, we're going to go with that then. We're going to say I said all of them. So,
Yeah.
we got some interesting stuff to talk about this week. We got a season finale that just happened. We got introduced. Well, not introduced to a villain because we got introduced to him last week. We got, got more acquainted with a villain. He's an evil son bitch too. But yeah. But on top of that, before we get into the actual shows that happened this week, we had some breaking news today. If you all are in the group, you've seen, I shared this in the group. Batwoman next season will not be recasting Kate Kane. Instead, a different character will become Batwoman. And I was like, oh, interesting choice.
I don't hate it. I don't know how I feel about that, but I don't hate it.
It's a very interesting choice. Honestly, there's no good way to get out of this anyway. So
Yeah. It's kind of like rip the Band-Aid off. Either way, it's going to be like no one's going to, they're not going to like it or they're going to be okay with it.
And it's going to be divided, so we'll see. Because, we know Kate Kane is Batwoman. So if somebody else takes up the mantle of Batwoman, they're forging new ground here. So
what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to like clap her or something. There's no way they can just say, yeah, Kate also left and is not coming back to town.
You got like she went off looking for Bruce because she's like going through an existential crisis and she needs Bruce, so she's gonna go find him.
Maybe, but then that's just giving the hope that she'll come back. I'd rather them just be like,
I mean, but she might. She might.
She might.
Even if it's not to be, full time, but just, guest appearance every now and then,
Maybe. I feel like it's better they just close the door now and just, Kate just happened to be walking down the street and someone caught her off guard and blah, blah, right to the forehead,
Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, there was, I guess, a casting call that went out for someone to play I forgot what name they used because I just didn't pay much attention because I was 99% sure that was a fake name anyway. But the character is described to be like completely different from Kate Kane. Like a kind of a street raised kid kind of thing, been stealing and all that kind of shit. So we'll see.
They should have homegirl, the Parker.
The hacker chick?
Yes.
That would be cool, but she can't fight.
This would be her time to she has all summer to figure out how to fight.
No, I mean, like, but the character can't fight. That's the thing. Like,
She has all summer to figure out that she wants to learn how to fight, start learning how to fight.
That ain't good enough, Mara.
Asking
That ain't good enough,
asking
Mara.
Kate asking Kate for pointers before Kate disappears or dies or whatever they're going to do to her story.
That sounds all well and good, but I wouldn't buy it.
I know.
Like in a perfect world, I'm sure like we get another couple seasons of her, becoming more acquainted and training and all that kind of stuff, while this is all happening, and then maybe she can take up the mantle later on. But at this point, nah, she just, it was weird for me that Laura was all of a sudden knew how to fight with the little bit of training she got, so.
She had like one episode of training, and the next thing you know, she's out here whooping ass. Like,
Yeah. And her fight scenes looked like that too. It was so bad. But anyway, that's we're not talking about Arrow because Arrow's over. But yeah. Original Laurel, just kind of, yeah.
She looked like one of them people that do like 3 squats, 2 push-ups, and struggle at like a sit-up, and then go, "Whoa, I feel pumped."
Oh man. So yeah, that was the Batwoman news. So you all know, Kate Kane will not be in the next season. Well, maybe she'll be at the beginning. Maybe they got her to do like 1 or 2 episodes to kind of like wrap her up. But
Right, I'd hope so. I'd hope she'd at least be a good sport about that.
mm-hmm. Maybe she just said, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Well, she could.
Could she?
I mean, they don't have her under contract for those 2 episodes. But then again, that's also with not really even knowing if they finished this season, because they'll say like if her episode contract wasn't up yet, they could be like, hey, we need you to do like these 2 episodes, and then you're done.
We don't know the details of her contract. You're right. What can they make her do? What will she want to do? This all seemed very amicable, so we don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's a little bit of Batwoman news we got. So we'll see what happens in January, I guess, because, that's when we'll find out. Because, the world's still on hold. So yeah, let's move on, shall we? Let's talk about some things. We got Legends and Stargirl this week. Which one would you like to start with?
Let's go with Legends since it was their finale.
I want to start with the finale. All right. Name of this episode was what?
Swan Thong. That is literally a tongue twister.
Oh man, it's a great title though. Anyway, so this whole episode kicks off. There's some unrest in this world that the fates have created. There's some vandalism going on. Somebody said the blue mush sucks, which I can understand because they all just eat different types of mush, and I'm pretty sure there's really no difference in the mush.
I'd like to imagine it's like eating really like oatmeal with like bare minimum liquid in it and no flavor whatsoever.
Yeah. Or like the difference between like apple cinnamon oatmeal and like cinnamon sugar oatmeal, but like the apple cinnamon oatmeal has no apples in it. I'm talking about the difference between the different colors of mush.
I'm about to say, wait, apple cinnamon oatmeal doesn't have apples in it?
Oh my God, Mara.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna need you to get back with me here. All right.
Okay, we'll
You
bring you back in.
really back in. You good? You good?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So anyway, we got the legends. They're wandering around. They meet up with Mona and Gary. And they're like, "Oh my God, it's you! We got you out!" Blah 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 blah. But shit's not going well because the
Because
fates are not
people's
happy.
memories are coming back too.
Yeah, yeah. So things are starting to fall apart. So half of them are trying to find the wave rider. The other half is infiltrating, to try to get their hands on the loom and destroy it. Meanwhile,
Sounds like, go off.
yeah. I mean, makes sense to me. So the fates are like holding court and shit. All three of them. Like, okay, what do you need? And somebody was like, more blue mush. like really? That's all you
Of
got to ask for?
all the things you could ask for, more blue mush.
Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, it's just obviously the green mush is the good one. So, other various requests were made, but the one that gets their attention is someone asking for their TV shows to be brought back. And this perks up the other two fates besides Charlie, and they're like, "What the fuck's wrong with the TV shows?" And she's like, "Don't worry, they'll be back soon." And he's like, "Well, is it a problem because of the crossover? They need rest because of the crossover?" And they're like, "What the fuck is a crossover?" And so then the blonde fate, what's the blonde's fate name?
Atropos.
Yeah, her. She gets up and she's like, "Yeah, we go find out what the fuck's going on here." So she's just, she leaves. They realize the legends are loose. So Constantine, Sarah, and Asher, they find the Loom of Fate, and they're like, "All right, we got to do something about this shit." Rest of the crew finds the Wave Rider, but they like,
Old
really,
sorry Nate and Ava.
huh?
Old sorry Nate and Ava.
Yeah, them. So yeah, it's in this like dump place where they put all the stuff that's forbidden. So they find it, they get in there, they realize Gideon has been removed from the Wave Rider. It's like, all right, well, how do we get this shit going? Like, oh, we'll use Nate as a conduit to get enough power going, and we can start this thing and fly manually.
That's not the worst idea they've ever had.
No,
What's the
they
good
have
about?
they have had worse ideas. You are correct.
Because what's good having a man that turns into full on metal if you can't use him as a electricity conductor every once in a while?
You're right. So after they get it going and all that mix, like, all right, cool, y'all did that. Now I got to go find my kid. So he takes off to go find his daughter. So
As he
then,
should.
at the meantime, Sarah's like, oh shit, crazy blonde chick is here. What's crazy blonde fake chick's name?
Atropos.
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna remember their
Oh.
names. All right, it's
Oh,
just
okay. I
I
was
just
just
need
like,
you to
wait a
say them
second.
every time. No.
Oh, okay. I was literally sitting here just like, wait a second. Is this the Twilight Zone? Am I repeating this moment or am I just repeating this word?
No, you're just that high. So
Yep.
then we get a fight between Sarah and that one whose name you just said, and
Atropos.
yeah, name sounds like an STD. Then we got
Sorry to tell you, you have a case of Atropos.
yeah, exactly. So they're going at it. In the meantime, Constantine and Astra are trying to, do some shit with the loon to take it apart. But Constantine has Astra like trying to remember her mother because her mother was, had this connection to the, to magic and all that. And so she's trying to work through her memories of her, but then she starts to lose control because the other fate, the older one, the one that,
Lachesis.
okay. She starts seeing her instead, and she's like, "Yeah, you gotta let her go because you'll never be powerful enough with her." Blah blah blah, blah and all that shit. So she loses control. It all falls apart. Shit's not going well there. So back to Sarah fighting.
Atropos.
Yeah, that shit's going on. She's about to lose, but then Zarya and Barat show up and they help her out, and they end up wrapping Fate up in the loom, and the shit pretty much explodes while they escape. But like shit's
Yeah,
it's about to fall apart. They're all about to
killing
die. What?
killing Atropos.
Yeah, she dies. She's done, gone, kaput. And
Finally.
as they're escaping, though, they're like, "Oh, we're not gonna make it though." So like says, like, jump the ship. Like, all right, well, we gonna jump. They didn't even know what they was jumping to. They just jumped the shit, and yeah, then they crash. Then we find out that because they
They
killed
crashed.
her, huh?
They they crashed back in trash.
Yeah, in trash again. Speaking of trash, Sarah takes off her glasses and realizes she sees the trash. She can see again because Fate's dead. She was the reason why she was blind, so she's no longer blind. She also doesn't have those powers anymore. So they're like, all right,
Thanks.
when the fuck are we now? We find out they've jumped, was it 4 months in the future?
This said like a few.
Yeah.
They didn't specify like it's been. I don't think they specified a number.
I think they said
Um,
4.
that might have been later on. The leader says it might have been 4 months or so. But like
Mm-hmm.
I think at first, I think it said it seems we've only jumped a few months or so.
Yeah. But later on, we find out it was 4. Yeah. So while they're walking around, they find out that they are now using the loom with Gideon in a watch. And she's like, oh, okay. So they just always ask the watch what they should do. Like, Fate, what should I do now? Fate, what should I do now? And they just blindly follow their watch. So then the legends, like, they go into what's they call the History Museum, which is basically, more propaganda about why free will is a bad thing.
Oh, that was so funny.
And then
The
they end
whole
up,
all the exhibits.
hmm?
I said all the exhibits.
Oh yeah, like the Hall of Bad Ideas that included things like the shake weight, glitter.
That was a bad idea. Glitter is a horrible idea.
Yeah, except the
It's a
glitter.
war on glitter.
Except, the glitter bomb is quite possibly my favorite thing that I've ever seen on the internet. Also cigarettes, and of course, the thong song. In which case, I was just like, you will not disrespect the greatness that was the thong song. All right.
Right? I was just like, who said that was a bad idea?
Now, him remaking that song, like, what was that, like a year or two ago, was a bad idea. But the
Yeah,
original thong song,
that was a great idea.
that gave us one of the greatest summers in the history of summers. You remember watching Spring Break on MTV that summer?
What year was that?
I don't know.
No, I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure I was in junior high at the time. So probably like 99, I'd guess. So yeah, Spring Break of that summer was beautiful to watch. It made me excited to go to college so I could go on spring break. Because watching Spring Break on MTV that summer, all the
2000.
okay, yeah, it was during that time.
That song just turned 20 years old.
Okay, so yeah, it was the summer between my 7th and 8th grade year.
So I was
So,
8.
oh
So
yes,
no, I don't remember
I'm
MTV
sorry,
Spring
I
Break.
was deep in the throes of puberty at that point, and watching MTV Spring Break at that time was wonderful because all the girls were wearing thongs, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, no, I remember sitting in a restaurant that was showing the video in the like on a TV, like some mom, like some like individual like shop, but
There were less thongs in that music video than I think should have been.
there definitely were.
So anyway, Then we got Barat. He's seeing like a vision of when he actually died, like in the timeline before they fucked everything up and changed it. He wakes up, asks, Zari about it. He tells him, like, yeah, that's what happened. You told me to run. I ran. They killed you. Because Argus sucks. Then later on, we got Mick.
They have a moment.
Yeah, they do. They do. The two of them, not the social media Zari. It's the cool Zari.
Yeah.
The one I wanted to stay, and they just took that away from me. But then Mick, his daughter, and Gary and Mona, they all show up on the Wave Rider because they all been waiting. Like, yo, where the fuck y'all been? So now they're on the Wave Rider.
So how do they get on the Wave Rider? How do they know where to find the Wave Rider?
They didn't know where to find it. I'm sure they just, saw that it was back now. They've been looking. So, I mean, Mick knows what to look for.
Okay.
I'm not asking too many questions. They wrapped it up, so it's cool.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
So then they have this like hall of bad guys or hall of villains or whatever it is, and they're all ranked. They're like, yo, why are these real fucked up people ranked like number 12 and 13? Like, who's number one? Well, then we find out
the Impaler was like number 14.
Yeah, so then we look up and we're like, oh, the Legends are number 2. They cause some trouble. But then like,
offended that they're not number 1.
Yeah, like, yo, how are we not number 1? Who's number 1? They see Charlie is number 1. Da, da, da.
She was number 1.
Yeah. So they get her out of there because it's actually Charlie in the fucking exhibit.
It's not like not a wax museum. It's physically Charlie.
Yeah, it's actually her. So they get her out of there, but they get her back on the Wave Rider. But she's all twisted up though, because she's just like, fate is, going against fate is awful. Free will is a problem. It's like she's been brainwashed. So now they got to try to convince her that free will is a good thing. It's not working. What?
By her watch.
Yeah, she's tripping because she don't have a watch on no more. Yeah.
I was like, this girl is, she broken.
Yeah, they broke her. So there's more hunting for the loom going on. This is when they find out that the loom is being run by Gideon. And our Zari, the real Zari from before, is like working on shutting it down. Eventually, social media Zari, shuts it down because she just unplugs the shit.
I just call her Present Zari or just Zari.
Yeah. I'm just trying to not call her Zari I don't like.
Okay.
So we got.
She just unplugs the shit. She just unplugs the shit.
Yeah, she just unplugs it because, that's the natural reaction of someone who doesn't know anything about technology and wants to stop it. I just unplug it. Never mind how, it'll fuck everything else up. Just unplug it, though.
Her face, though, had me dying. She had, like, this weird face, like, yeah, we should just do this.
So, yeah, she unplugs it. And all the people surrounding the Legends at the time, they're like, oh, they've been, like, constantly checking their watches to see how they should feel about, what the Legends are saying to them about, how the wolves are being pulled over their eyes, are being lied to, all that shit. So then this Fate sister, whose name Telekinesis, yeah, she
Lachesis.
The cutest of Borg, yes. So she she brings all the figures in the villains and shit in that room to life. And so now the Legends got to fight. And Nate does what I needed him to do. Because somebody had to do it. He hits a button and Cisco begins singing the thong song as they fight.
Therefore confirming that Cisco is still alive and well and still dyeing his hair silver.
Oh, we need to talk about Cisco because, yeah, Cisco is very much alive and well. Still touring, by the way. Has been on more than one gaming podcast that I listen to. Like he's big in gaming and everything. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
The same dude whose little child pulled out this song in front of his girl, thus for inspired starting that song, is into gaming like that?
Yeah, man.
I didn't see that coming.
Most people wouldn't. And yes, they have actual Cisco singing and dancing along with the song record.
Over
And
there doing the moonwalk on stage.
bro, no, I ask when this song played, did Travis sing along as it was playing?
Did you?
Damn right I did. I still know every word. So anyway, while that's all going on, Mick's daughter somehow convinces Charlie to stop being a punk ass and like, yo, free will is
She
a good
was
thing.
being useless with a
Here's
capital
my
U.
here's my thing though. I don't know how Mick's daughter convinced her though, because she didn't say anything that everybody else didn't already say.
Right. She was just like, my dad done some pretty shitty shit, but you know, I love him, so let's go save everyone.
Yeah, everybody else said the same thing. Yeah, we fucked some stuff up, but great things also happened. Like it was all the same shit. I don't know why that worked, but whatever. Just get us there. Fine.
Right.
So Charlie goes off. She's like, "You're right. I'm gonna go do this." So she goes off to face her sister after she gives, the weapons necessary to kill all those villains. Um, she goes off to
'Cause they
face her
didn't have
sister,
them.
and I'm like, "Oh shit, we gonna get a fate sister fight." And instead, she gives her a hug.
She forgives her.
And I'm just like, so like
I
you gonna
thought, oh,
so you gonna hug her and
maybe.
like stab her when you hug her? Like what's going on? No. So y'all just gonna talk and she gonna pout and then you gonna walk away. Okay, cool.
Yeah. He's gonna give her an uplifting chat about just enjoy your life
Yeah.
and just let her walk away. Uh, okay.
Yeah,
But
that's what we're doing. Okay.
they address that they are both now fully mortal. They get this one life and one life only.
So how are they mortal now and they weren't mortal before? Because
I think they
because the
were more.
loom was gone before too.
Well, I mean, but like I think they were mortal. I think Lakesis was mortal before she took Gideon out. That's why she took Gideon, right? Since they didn't have the loom.
But they didn't have the loom before all this shit started. But they were still immortal.
But the loom still existed. They destroyed the whole thing.
Okay.
Like it
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
like Charlie just took the rings before and just plucked them in
Separated
different
it.
places.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
As opposed to now the whole shit has gone to shit.
Okay, yeah. So the loom doesn't even exist. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. And then they've only gone forward a couple of months. So it's only been, 60 days.
Mm-hmm. So then we find out after they've defeated the Fate Sisters, they've destroyed the Loom of Fate. Gideon's back where she belongs. But then we realize that,
B-Rod is still having those weird visions.
and he's got a hole in his chest now because real Zara is around, and she's fucking up things because timelines are fighting each other. So she's just like, I gotta go back in the totem because if I don't, you gonna die. Because we can't both be here. Me and others Zari can't both be here. And I'm like,
And if she stays out, then he would die.
yeah. I'm like, well, that sucks.
That
Is
was
there a
sad. I was actually a little
way to
sad watching her.
send the other Zari in there instead? No, I guess
Nope.
not. I know.
You would solidify her timeline.
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. I wasn't big on Barack this season anyway. So it's just like if he were to die, like I wouldn't miss him if he was gone. I wouldn't.
But now we know one thing. They're really going to explore this Zari and Constantine story.
Yeah, I guess so. So then we get that tearful goodbye, and they're like, "How you gonna go back in?" She's like, "I'm a totem master, remember?" So she can just magically go
Right.
back in. That was a quick wrap up. I get it.
I was like, but so you can't come out like for
Exactly.
help
Exactly.
for conjugals with Nate? Like, not that I care about that, but
Man, I do, man. Nate needs to catch a break because they already, you know, they took Vixen away from him. Now they taking Zari away from him. He just can't catch a break. It's the rule. Nate doesn't get to be happy. Damn shame. His father died too. Like fuck. Like they just poor Nate.
it's gonna be funny when Nate when they cross over with Stargirl and Nate's just kind of like, are we cousins or something? Like, like play cousins because they're
Because
well, no,
both their fathers were in the JSA. Yeah.
yeah. I was like, am I in the right generation? Am I thinking the right generation? Yeah, like they're like play cousins.
Mm-hmm.
Only Nate was older.
Yeah. So then we like, oh, we need to unwind, get a drink and shit. Charles like, I know where, and they go to this bar where she's performing with her band. And afterwards, they're out. They're all fucked
Yeah.
up because they were all doing drugs. Because why wouldn't they? And Charlie informs them that she's leaving the team because I guess they said there were too many black people, so one of them had to go. And yeah,
Too many people of color. Somebody's got to go.
yeah. I didn't see Astra out there with him at the end either, so I don't even know if she's gonna be there. So they're like, no black people, but we'll see. But then
Yeah.
after the
Ashley
goodbyes and
doesn't seem like she'll stick around.
yeah, so then after all the goodbyes and all that, they start walking away, and apparently Sarah just got abducted by aliens.
And I was like, no one hears the buzzing.
No, they all fucked up. They don't hear that shit. They probably just wrote it off. Like, I don't know what this, probably all part of this weird buzz I'm feeling right now because, drugs.
I'm just saying, if I was Sarah, I'd be so mad at my team. I don't care how drunk we are.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was Legends.
So we'll see.
And we shall. How you feeling about this season?
It was a weird one, but at least I mean they're all weird, funny.
But that's
Like,
I'm about to say, yeah, that sounds like what Legends is.
I'm happy that it seems like this was wrapped up. It seems like they were able to get what they needed to get out in time.
Yeah. Worked out a bit better for them than, others, especially the Flash.
Yeah.
Like Flash seemed to be the one that suffered the hardest from this COVID shit. Like as far as, being able to wrap up their season. Yeah,
story wise, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I still can't get over. I don't know now what I hate more. This season finale or Game of Thrones series finale.
I do. Because in a few months you won't still be mad about this season finale because, once the show starts back up, it's okay. I will forever be able to bring up the Game of Thrones series finale. You will immediately get pissed. So, I still think you hate the Game of Thrones series finale more.
It's okay. But either way.
Yeah, that Flash season finale was trash, though. But wasn't their fault, but it was still trash.
You know what's crazy?
What's crazy?
Arrow only ended a few months ago. And it feels like Arrow has been off the air forever.
Yeah. Yeah. It does.
Like, I'm just thinking about that. I was like, yo, Arrow. I was like, did Arrow get affected? No, because they literally wrapped it up before it became an issue in the States. And same for Black Lightning. Black Lightning wrapped up in what, March, February?
Something like that, yeah.
They got lucky.
They did. They did. Ready to move on?
Yeah, let's go.
Stargirl. This episode was called what?
Icicle.
Not to be confused with a bicycle. This is an icicle. The perfect murder weapon. It melts.
It is.
No fingerprints.
I think there's a CSI episode about that. Either, I don't know if it's New York or Miami, but one of them.
I doubt it was Miami because you don't get much ice in Miami.
I know, but but you remember, you know how much liberties that CSI takes.
Yeah,
with logic.
but there are no icicles in Miami, Mara.
I don't know. I'm just saying. You'd be funny if we're both wrong. It was actually the Vegas one.
That'd be even worse.
Right? I'm gonna look that up. But yep, this is Icicle.
So this episode kicks off actually 8 years ago with this woman on her deathbed. Looks like it's Jordan's wife that we, later gets confirmed. And his son is also there. And, she's all like, oh, you're a great son. Keep drawing and all that. This picture you drew me was beautiful and all that. And then she's about to die. And she tells Jordan that he needs to continue his work and fix this country and destroy anyone who tries to stop him. And, that was that. Because
I can't wait till they give us that episode that goes back to show when they defeated the JSA, all that stuff, to see how we got here. Because there has to be, to see, what Jordan's been doing. Who else has kicked the bucket along the way.
We'll see. Maybe they will.
I hope they do.
I don't know if there'll ever be one full episode of it. I think they'll try to fill it in between episodes,
I mean, I guess. I kind of just want it to be like that Lex-centric episode of Supergirl we had.
I knew what you were getting at. I don't know if they'll do that, though. We'll see. So then we get sent over to present day. This is, after Jordan just goes out into a field and just freezes everything because he was, mad because his wife died. But present day, it's breakfast time. This is the start of stepbrother. That's Mike is his name, right?
The magician kid?
The kid, not the magician kid.
Yes.
Her stepbrother.
Mike. Oh, yes, Mike. Jesus Christ. And you were right. It was CSI New York.
Yeah. Who did you think I was talking about?
Williamson.
Oh, I think his name was. I think I know that one. His name was Joey.
Joey, yeah, that's why I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So anyways, breakfast time. This is the start of, Mike just being fucking annoying this episode. And I'm like, somebody just knock him the fuck out. I hate him. So,
right. Just being annoying as shit.
Yeah. The whole episode just a pain in the ass to everybody. Mostly just to Pat, but to everybody. Because, that's what annoying kids do. So.
Puberty. Puberty.
Is that puberty? How old is he?
I'm just kidding. He can't be that much. Well, Courtney's 15 and he doesn't seem like he's older than her.
No, he's younger than her. He's definitely younger than her.
So, yeah, I mean, these are the ages that kids are going through puberty.
We don't know how old he is, though.
Well, I mean, he can't be. I would probably put anywhere between 12 or 13. Like, I wouldn't put him that much younger than Courtney, but I wouldn't put him like that. Like, I wouldn't put him within a year, probably like 2 years.
Maybe.
I mean,
So,
who knows? He's short, but I mean, like, he went outside at some point. He goes out with people. So I mean, on some level, 12 or 13, I'm thinking
okay.
when it's
So,
appropriate for white kids to go outside on their own.
oh man, they send their kids out whenever because they don't fear anything. But anyway, so Courtney's like, yo, we need to go ahead and go after the ISA because, there's more of them clearly. And Pat's like, yo, you need to keep pretending to be a normal teenager so we can lay low. She's not happy about that, but she eventually agrees. We got, then we get,
I get it.
yeah, Brainwave is in the hospital. His son is there. He's not, he's not doing well with this at all. And he looks up and he sees that Jordan is watching him through the window. It's not creepy at all. And as Jordan leaves, he calls the senator. What's the senator's name?
You mean the councilman?
They called him a senator last week.
Oh.
And this week they
You're
called him a
talking about
councilman, whatever. I don't know.
William. I've
Yeah.
been calling him William or Wizard Man.
Well, yeah, his villain name is Wizard, but
Okay.
I didn't know what his regular name was, his civilian name. Yeah, they called him a senator last week. This week they called him a congressman. I don't know what the fuck he is. But
Councilman, senator, whatever.
So then we got his son is like, he's gonna do a magic act, right? And the senator reminds him, like, yo, the key to good magic is distraction. Keep the smile and the pizzazz and all that. They won't see what's right in front of their face. And then he proceeds to do the exact same thing to his wife. So yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, at the school,
He was just kind of like, what?
Yeah. So then he gets to the school, and Joey, the senator's son, he wants to practice his magic, and he speaks to Courtney. And he's nice to Courtney, and they have a good rack back and forth. Like, yo, try this card trick with me. He ends up not doing the card trick right, but she pretends that he did it right for his sake, just, because, she don't want to embarrass him in front of
Why
everybody.
clown him?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So right after that, though, well, while that's happening, this kid is watching him. We don't know who he is at the time, but we later find out his name is Cameron, right?
Mm-hmm. See, you're doing it.
Yeah. Sometimes I remember names. This particular episode I remember because they actually did shit in this episode that mattered, So he's been watching. He sees that she, didn't have the right card, but she did it anyway. So like, okay. Immediately after that, though, she sees that lunch table girl, and someone has painted the word slut on her locker because
Yolanda.
What's her name?
Yolanda.
Yolanda? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So someone has painted the word slut on Yolanda's locker, but not only on her locker, though, because part of it's on the lockers next to hers, too, which is just like, yo, that's not fair. They didn't do anything to you anyway.
Right? My neighbors would, like, if I was her neighbor, I'd be like, this is annoying.
Yeah, I ain't even in this. Like, so then they try to, she tries to talk to her, but she just walks away. Later on, Pat goes to the hospital and figures out that Brainwave is not alone. There are other ISA members around.
Because they, first of all, they took him to the hospital and they changed his clothes.
Yeah.
To come up with the cover story.
Yeah. So that happens. And afterwards, we see Jordan goes to see the senator at his house. And they have this deep discussion.
The new one.
Yeah. He drops this one line where he says, true power doesn't need to be seen. Basically talking about how he traveled the world and killed everybody that had anything to do with his wife's death. Because apparently she died from some kind of toxin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I need more information. I need to know why I care about why I should sympathize.
Oh, we're gonna get more information about them. I'm sure. I just don't know if it'll be in like one episode because we got to know what their plan is, like how they're going to rebuild America. What is this big plan that they have? So then we see Mike gets in trouble because apparently he was playing his Switch in class.
Yeah, I was like, do we really call people about this? But then again, this is Nebraska, so they got nothing better to do.
Yeah, like in any school I went to, they would have just taken it from him, like, yo, you get this back after class, and then you go home and don't bring it in here again. Like,
right, or at the end of the day or something like that.
Yeah. So he also would get a detention. Like, it's just like that's the kind of thing that would happen when I was in school. But anyway,
like you got to call the whole family now. Like,
yeah, that's just seems excessive. So, but it's also excessive to pull out your Switch in the middle of class too. So,
there's that. Like, not even your phone, but a Switch.
Yeah. So then him and Pat have a talk, and Pat's like, I used to play a video game when I was a kid called Paperboy. So you know what you're going to do? You're going to get a paper route like I did. And I'm just like, people still do that shit? I didn't know that was still a thing.
Nebraska.
You're right. In Blue Valley, Nebraska, they still have paper routes. But I still kind of feel like if there was, they'd all be taken already because, every kid probably just doing that shit. And they only got like 8 houses. So, I don't know.
Only have but 8 houses.
So then we get this moment when Jordan is addressing that company that everybody works for, that I guess the tire people, right? And
yeah, barber's job.
He's addressing them, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna rebuild America, one factory and one town at a time." Okay. Then Barbara ends up speaking up about some projects that they're working on in their own town, something about the community theater and all that, and that asshole boss she had before. So I'm like, oh, it loses money and blah blah blah. But Jordan steps in like, no. Speak up. Let me hear you out. Yeah, we're gonna do that shit. Yeah, we're gonna do that shit.
Voice.
Yeah. We're gonna do that shit. We're gonna bring back this theater. And he turns to his boy like, yeah, make that shit happen. So then later on, back at the school, we see these girls. I guess they were the ones who Joey was talking about earlier, always win the talent show competition because they twerk.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what do they twerk? But anyway, then we got they're like, picking on
Yolanda.
Yeah. And telling her like, yeah, you shouldn't have
painted over.
Yeah, but they were getting, we found out like the reason, like they like started the slut shit because apparently she was dating some dude that the girl liked, and I guess they leaked her nudes or something, I'm guessing is what happened.
I have no idea.
Like it sounds like what happened is Yolanda was dating a dude that no-ass twerk girl liked. And so in response, she somehow got like a hold of nudes that Yolanda probably sent to old boy and then showed them to everybody else. And then she got laid with a slut, which is weird because if you get labeled a slut in high school, I don't know how it was in your high school. But in my high school, if someone got labeled a quote slut, or we used other words like bust down or something like that, all that.
Oh, God.
We had several terms for that. However, that didn't actually really get you. Well, that may have got you shunned by other girls, possibly. But then you all of a sudden just had a whole bunch of guy friends. Because when you're in high school, you got all these guys who have not had sex before. So like, oh, maybe I can get her to have sex with me. So then she'd have the wrong kind of popularity. But she would not have zero friends like they're showing here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I feel like those guys wouldn't really be her friend though if they try to make a move and then she says no and then they're just like, well, this is done.
Possibly. But others would still try. I just don't think she'd be all by herself all the time like she's showing this. Is just all I'm saying.
I guess. Yeah.
So Courtney tries to stand up for her, but then she stops her from doing it. Yolanda stops her from doing it. Like, yo, you're just gonna make things worse for both of us.
Like, stop what you're doing. Leave me alone. Which I get. She's like, I feel like she's just gotten so acquainted at just being alone that she's just like, please stop trying to fix it. I'm okay with where I am. They leave me alone. Don't bring a target over here and all that
but they
stuff.
don't leave her alone.
We don't.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like they bothered her because someone came and painted over her locker.
I guess.
But then I digress. I mean, I don't, because I remember they were talking about that. That's only reason why I mentioned that. But I mean,
but they painted on her locker to begin with.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying. They don't leave her alone. They're the ones that spray painted slut on her locker to begin with. So like it's just I don't know how much worse it'll really get, but whatever. So then we see that Jordan's getting real chummy with Barbara because reasons, and
Weird.
yeah. As Courtney's walking home, she comes across this field that is all iced over in the shape of a star. Clearly, Icicle calling out the Stargirl, and she tells Pat, and she convinces him to go with her to this. Now, here's my question. If he put this star there, he clearly was in the vicinity. Did he not see Courtney walk into this star? And then Stargirl later show up? Or am I thinking too deeply?
I feel like you're asking more questions than they expected you to.
Okay. So she convinces Pat to go back there with her, all suited up and shit. And of course, while they're there, Icicle attacks because it's clearly a trap.
Clearly.
Yeah. And so they get into a fight with him. He gets the upper hand on Stripe for a while. They knock him over into this bridge with, a little flying Stripe fist thingy. Then he ends up like icing up the bridge and making the bus that's carrying a bunch of kids from the school on it, like swerve and almost fall off this bridge. They save them all.
It's only one with all of the kids. So of course, it's only one bus that has every single kid from that school on it.
Well, not every single kid from the school, just every single kid from the school that we know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, he does that shit. It almost goes off the bridge. Stripe saves them all. Courtney does this little flashing light thing so they don't look directly at the robot because can't have them looking at the robot. He saves them, but fucking Icicle does some shit with the little card and
set up Joey to die.
Kills Joey. Good old Joey is dead. Now, let's talk about how this truck was just barreling on down this bridge, though, while a disabled bus was sitting there. Why the fuck didn't that truck slow down anyway? This is partially the truck
Well,
driving dude's fault. But this is
I feel
mostly
like
on Icicle, though,
yeah, because I mean, even if he did try to brake, but he couldn't. The bridge is ice.
Yeah, which is why he shouldn't have been driving that fast anyway. That ice started back a little further than that. And
Oh
also,
yeah,
there was a fucked up
I know
bus
that.
sitting on the bridge. He should have slowed down long before he got there.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying that like he's still like in the clear of not slowing down. I'm just saying that even if he had slowed down sooner, it wouldn't have mattered because the ice was already starting back. I thought the whole bridge was iced. So even when he got on the bridge, if he had tried to slow down, the closer he got, he wouldn't have been able to anyway.
As someone who has driven on ice and has lost control on ice, I can tell you, as far back as that ice was, he had time to regain control. However, this ain't about him, though. This is about Icicle killing the son of William the Wizard. So, kid's dead. Joey's dead. And afterwards, Pat and Courtney are sitting there having a talk, and Pat is like, you know what? I need to show you something. And he takes her to the JSA headquarters, and he shows her around all the shit of who everybody was. Wildcat, Midnight. What's up?
So while they're there, how does not talking about that he looks just like her father not come up?
Bro, I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I'm
When
getting
when
so
she's looking
tired
at when
of
she's
it
looking at the picture, I said the same thing. Like,
because
nigga.
even in this episode when she was like, he killed my father, he killed Starman, it was like, Pat, stop this. Stop it right now.
Yeah.
You're pissing me off
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Like, I can only imagine how pissed she is
How
every time he says that.
frustrated, yeah.
Homeboy, I just feel like, yo, you got me tight, man. Got me messed up.
So, after this, he shows her all this shit. Like I say, he shows her, Wildcat, Dr. Fate, Dr. Midnight and Dr. Midnight's owl. Talk about all of them. And then he's just like,
Who is feeding that owl?
I'm sure the owl goes out to eat, but comes right back.
Okay.
That's what I imagine happens.
I was like, that owl's been waiting for at least, 10 years?
10 years, yeah. And then they talk about how special the owl was. So maybe the owl doesn't need to eat.
Maybe. I'm just saying, like, my heart breaks for him. He's still waiting for him to come back.
Mm-hmm. I imagine Bear. Like, if I left one day and just never came back, but somehow he survived for 10 years, just waiting for me to come back.
It's like that episode of Futurama with
I was
Fry's
about to
dog.
go there. Yep. And we're going to move on before we talk too much about that because I'm not about to cry right now. Anyway.
Can't cry no more today.
This has been a rough day. So in the middle of this, Courtney gets the idea of forming a new JSA. And Pat's like, no, these people, in the JSA, they were they were the best. They trained for this. And she was like, well,
they had abilities and all that other shit.
And she was like, yo, they didn't start that way though, did they? And he was like, well, no. She's like, well, okay then. So we need to start somewhere. So let's recruit some folks. And he's like, no. And he walks away and tells her no, we ain't doing shit else until I say so, blah, 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 and walks away. What are you doing? Come here.
Look at him and his haircut.
What were you doing, sir? Because it sounded like you were like causing trouble. Why are you getting so close to the mic? You gonna say something? You got something to say? You about to go ahead and drop your mixtape? No? You done? Okay.
He looks so cute with his haircut.
So anyway, so after all this, Senator William the Wizard is pissed.
Oh,
And
he was over it.
he grabbed his magic wand out of the safe and he shows up at Jordan's place. And he's like, yo, what the fuck you do to my kid? You better tell me that was an accident and blah, blah, blah. And Jordan like, fuck you, and kills him. Just like that.
Yo, the smoothness of how he did it too. Like it was so like he disarmed him and I was like, oh, he's just disarming him, right? It was like, oh no, you're literally taking his breath away.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. And what's so fucked up about this?
That was literally cold blooded.
Besides the fact that he killed him. But it's just like, yo, we never really got to saw what that wand could do.
Right? Or maybe he's also going to recruit new people.
Maybe. We'll see.
I mean, either way.
We'll find out.
I was like, that was so cold what he did to him. And I was like, all puns intended.
Blooded.
And I was like, but then again, this is now 2 Injustice Society members who are now out of the way. So, I mean.
They did kill the JSA.
Right. I was just like, that's 2 of them you don't got to worry about right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see Brainwave coming back from this, but who knows?
We'll see. I'm sure he'll wake up at some point.
If not, his son will wake up.
Oh, get his powers from? Yeah. So then we find out, though, that the nice kid that draws that we saw earlier, who, was nice to Courtney and who we saw was the one who drew over Yolanda's little slut-shaming locker graffiti, is none other than Jordan's son, which I'm very disappointed in myself for not seeing earlier.
Cameron.
Yeah, like it was just one of those things like, yo, I should have saw this. Why didn't I see this? What is wrong with me?
I feel like, because I don't think did they say his name in the beginning of the episode?
No, but they made a very big deal out of the fact that he drew something for his mother and his mother saying, keep drawing.
Oh, well, yeah, that. Because I mean, the only reason I knew was because the subtitles I had on said young Cameron. And I was like, who is young Cameron? So when they had introduced him later on, I was like, oh, Cameron.
See, here's the thing.
Oh.
I watched this on the DC Universe app, and with almost everything, I keep, the subtitles or, captions on, but I don't like them in the DC Universe app because they do that black background thing and it covers up too much. And so I turned it off. And so I didn't see it on this. So, yeah, that's Jordan's son. And then we see Courtney has returned to the JSA headquarters. She's just taking a whole bunch of shit. And she's like, you know what? Staff, let's go recruit some motherfuckers.
She takes that pen thing and something else.
Yeah, well, she takes a whole bunch of shit. Takes the pen thing, takes, some shit that would belong to Wildcat. She takes a bunch of shit. And she's about to go recruit some folks. And
I don't know how that works, but I guess.
She seems to have an idea, so whatever.
Whatever.
So that was Stargirl.
Yep.
Who's winning this week, Mara?
I mean, I wanted to say the Legends until the end.
Okay.
I mean, I guess right now I could say Courtney. She doesn't really seem like she's losing.
But is she winning?
I mean, is anyone really winning? Charlie's winning. Charlie's getting to do what she loves for the rest of her life.
See, I was gonna say Icicle's winning right now because he's doing this motherfucking thing right now.
Yeah.
But you're saying Charlie, or are you saying Courtney?
I'll say Charlie.
I'm gonna say Charlie. Okay. Who's losing?
Councilman William.
Yeah, he
And
dead, and his
Joey.
son's dead. That's
Or we
a
could
good.
even step it up one and just say his wife.
Ooh, yeah, her too, because she's got to live with that. They dead. So yeah, all right.
Husband and her son.
And here I was about to say Sarah because she got abducted by aliens, but she's still alive though.
Right. And we know Sarah will be back.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna have to go with you on that one. That family's just things are not going well for them.
Nope.
Damn, you right.
I know it's hard when I am, but
Yeah. Well, all right then. Believe that's it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Don't forget, you can follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. Also, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Creation World. I already told you how to spell creation. Find that shit. Also, you can find this particular podcast along with several discussions that involve this podcast in our Facebook group. What is the Facebook group, Mara?
Facebook.com/group/create Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Sorry.
Also, if you're a wrestling fan, don't forget to check out Smacking It Raw, another podcast that we do, hosted by myself, led by the warden, Matt Ritter. Facebook
Smacking
group.
with no G.
Yes, and there's a Facebook group that goes along with that also, facebook.com/group/Smacking It Raw. And if you want to support us, don't forget you can hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/Creation World. Let's see. What else is there? Well, you can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
Always on Twitter and Instagram at Mara the Shark. That's MARADASHARK.
All right, folks. Believe that's it. Catch you all next week. Till then.
For only Stargirl.
For only Stargirl. Until then, Black Lives Matter, and we out.
Bye.